Hi, and welcome to another episode of Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I'm really excited about today's episode because I want to talk about a topic that I have been seeing go around a lot on social media, and I have a lot of opinions about it. So I thought that this episode would really help anyone that is really in those earlier stages of business and is just torn between, going all in or not, or whether things are meant to feel a certain way or not. And just reframe a little bit of it so that showing up in business can feel a lot more easeful than it maybe currently is. So this episode is going to really normalize some feelings and experiences for yourself and make it easier moving forwards. And it's the topic of, is hustle and hard work required to grow and scale your business? And I'm really, really passionate about this because I see a lot of opinions thrown around, and it can really cause a disservice to a lot of people that then have these unhealthy expectations about what starting and growing and scaling a business is meant to look like, that you're just meant to sit by the pool or, live that laptop lifestyle, or you can just spend 2 or 3 hours a day and then you're just rolling in millions of dollars per year. And whilst that absolutely is some people's reality, and even much of what I just said is often my reality in many ways, I'll make money whilst literally sitting by the pool or on the couch or in bed or whatever it might look like. However, was that the reality for the first 3 to 4 years in business? No, it wasn't. And so I want to have this conversation. So is hustle and hard work required to scale? Well, in my opinion, it is, right? If it were that easy to start and grow and scale a business where you're making 6 or 7 figures in your business, then everyone would have that reality. Everyone would have that result and be rolling in cash. But that isn't the reality. And that's because it requires a specific mindset, it requires a specific strategy, and it requires discipline and work ethic in order to create that result. Okay. And so work is absolutely required here if you want to grow. Work is essential, right? If you don't put in the effort, you're not going to get the return. It's kind of like the law of the universe of what you put out, you get in return, right? So if you're just doing everything from this average place, from this low vibrational place, and not really going the extra mile, going above and beyond, how can you possibly expect above and beyond results, right? And so the way that I look at it is that yes, it requires quote unquote hard work and hustle, but I don't see that as a problem and I don't see that as hard, to be honest. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation because, there's a lot of negativity around the word hustle, but I don't really see it as like a problem. I think the problem is almost how people view that word. They see the word hustle means burning yourself out, exhausting yourself, or, taking action in your business at a consequence of other areas of your life. That has not been my experience. I have not ever had to let down, family members or friends or my partner as a result of growing my business. I've not had to let my health, take a huge turn of events because of my business. I don't now sleep less or anything like that because of having a business. Yet I would say that I'm a hardworking person and I put in hustle. And so I think the problem is less the word and how you perceive the word. When I think of the word hustle, what I am really interpreting that as personally is just going that extra mile, like caring deeply, putting in effort, putting in time. And whilst that might sound so obvious and bare minimum to do in your business, it's actually unbelievable how rare it is to see people do that. I see far more people, doing a post here and there or even posting every day. And because they don't get that instant gratification of results in their business, they then give up or they get upset or they think there's something wrong with them or their coach or the process and they want to, throw it all in the bin and start again. I see a lot more of that than I do of people actually putting in intentional time and energy. So it's not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it, right? So going that extra mile is like willing to pay attention to the details and willing to put in the time to get good at a skill. no one starts anything and after 5 minutes, 5 months even, is like freaking phenomenal at it, right? It's like it takes time to get good results. Just like anything, whether that's a sport we're learning or a new skill set, or, you know, when you're a baby learning how to walk, like you fall down 1,000 times before you start walking consistently. And you have to be willing to do that to get to that point where you're walking consistently, right? And the beautiful thing about babies is they don't have all that self-doubt and that limitation in their mind that then makes them give up and not even try to walk again. You know, like they always get back up, and you need to have that same mentality in your business. And so rather than seeing hustle as a problem, see it as a bare minimum of, like, if you want an above average quality life where you have an abundance of freedom, abundance of time, abundance of finances, abundance of impact, right? Like these are the things you want, right? If you actually want that, you need to be abundant with your actions, with your time, with your effort, and with your energy. Like what you put out, you will get back. So there's all of this negative talk about hustle, but I don't actually believe hustle is a problem at all. It's the way people are interpreting it. They're interpreting hustle as burnout and losing certain areas of their life, or having to just be in pain of doing new things in that uncomfortable, you know, growth phase. But the thing that you need to know is that growth happens outside of your comfort zone. And if you can't handle 5 months or even a few years of discomfort in order to get this, you know, amazing quality life, then you are not in a position to have that quality of life, you know, because it doesn't come without effort. It doesn't come without work. You know, you've got to put in the hard yards. And so would I be willing to put in 3, 4, 5, even more years if necessary of quote unquote hard work, discomfort, being okay with sucking and being average and learning and investing and putting my all in, to then have a life of freedom and abundance and, you know, wealth and being able to give more than ever before? Absolutely, I would. And so the way that I see it, and I hope that this helps you to maybe change your mindset on taking action and being uncomfortable and leaning in when you want to lean out, is that you've got to choose your hard. Because the way I see it is that both options are hard, and you've just got to choose which one feels better for you, right? So the way I see it is that, yeah, starting and growing a business is hard. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's equally been the most rewarding and enjoyable, and I love it, but that doesn't mean it's not hard. I've been rejected hundreds of times. I've had people say mean things. I've unfortunately lost people, you know, that weren't meant to be in my life. And I say unfortunately, but in all honesty, it's ended up being a gift. But my point is, was it hard in the moment? Yeah, it was hard in the moment to lose people that couldn't handle me succeeding and growing and evolving as a person instead of just staying the same like they were, you know, but that's hard. And, you know, investing in yourself when you don't know what the outcome's going to be, investing in yourself when like you don't know what result you're going to get, that's hard. All of that's hard. Learning new skill sets, doing things that make you uncomfortable, that, you know, you don't love doing, like being on camera, talking boldly and loudly, you know, holding your standards and boundaries, or, you know, leaning in, like all of that is hard, right? But are you willing to do that so that you get good at the skill sets like marketing and sales and having systems and your mindset to be able to create extraordinary results? Or there's the other hard option, which is to go into a 9-to-5, or maybe stay in a 9-to-5 that is unfulfilling, where you're working for someone else's dream, you're miserable, and you do that for 40 years, where it might be more comfortable because, you know, after 5 p.m. you don't have to think about work. You know, it's so easy. You've been doing it for so many years that, you know, you can kind of just do it in this mind-numbing way, and it's not that hard. But the consequence is that, like, the hard part is that you never really have an abundance of money, and you are working for someone else's dream while in the back of your head you have your dream. And when you retire, like, they forget about you in 5 seconds, and then you're just living off this pension, like a small amount of money that you have to now budget for the rest of your life, not being able to go on holidays whenever you want and, you know, be able to explore the world. Like, that's also hard. And I also want to just share a disclaimer. I recognize that not all 9-to-5s are like that. And I'm also not saying that there's something wrong with a 9-to-5. I'm I'm not against it by any means. I personally could never do it, and like I just wouldn't, but I'm not against it. For some people it's great, and obviously, you know, there is a, you know, we need people to be working 9 to 5 in order to, you know, have food on the shelves at supermarkets and all of the things. Like, there's nothing wrong with it unless it's not what you want to do. So if you want to do that, then do that, and that's amazing, and there's not 1 inch of a problem around that. But if that's not what you want to do and you're doing it because the alternative, like in your mind, is like you have to hustle and work hard to grow your business, then it is a problem, right? So the way I see it is that both are hard, but which one is harder to you? For me, I'd rather work 10 times as much, put in 10 times as much effort, and have more consequences, like, or challenges or discomfort when it comes to growing a business. I'd literally rather have that, but then also reap all of these amazing rewards than I would sitting in a 9 to 5, bored out of my brains, living paycheck to paycheck, and no matter how hard I worked or what extra effort I put in, I just kept earning the same amount. Like, that is way harder to me than growing a business. But that's because of my values and my goals and my mission and my vision. And so I want you to really ask yourself and question, like, what do you want? You get to choose your hard. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a successful business owner, you want life on your own terms, and I'm not using these words to be fluffy or blasé. This is literally my life. I have more money than I know what to do with in my account. I'm diversifying my portfolio in a variety of different ways. My accountant tells me my numbers is better than most people she sees in this industry. And I get to travel all of the time. I'm literally traveling to South Australia tomorrow at the time of recording this, and I've got no calls for the rest of the week. Like, that is my life. So whilst these words of freedom, wealth, abundance might sound a bit fluffy, it's literally my reality as a result of the quote unquote hustle, as a result of the hard work, okay? And that's because that hard is so much more worth it than the hard of being unfulfilled in a career that, doesn't meet my needs or satisfies me and just allows me to get by. I'm really lucky that in my life and in my family, I've got a lot of evidence of both. A lot of my family members are entrepreneurs, and I see how it has supported them to create an incredible life. And then I've got a few family members that are not entrepreneurs, and it's painful to watch how they have to save up for months, if not years, to go on a holiday. Like, my mum, she has to save for so long to come and visit her children here in Australia. And I could just fly to Denmark tomorrow if I really wanted to. Like, it's so sad to see the budgeting that goes into buying a new outfit, or, being able to go out for dinner is a luxury and a rare thing rather than a common everyday thing. Like, it pains me to watch when, there are other options, right? And, my mum's just one example. My mum's amazing and she's happy and all of the things, but I do see how, that lack of financial freedom, affects the quality of her life, right? Because she has to say no to a lot of things. And, we're only here for such a short period of time. I want you to make the most of your life and be able to experience everything. Like, I don't remember the last time I ever had to hesitate when paying for something or buying something or giving something to someone, or, making a decision that I wanted to make. I don't even need to hesitate. And I say all of this to really help you shift your perspective on hustle and hard work, because I would take it any day of the week. But know that when I'm using the word hustle and hard work, I'm not talking about the kind that burns you out, exhausts you, and takes a hit at other important areas of your life. I'm in an amazing relationship with my partner. We have quality time every single day together. We go on dates every week. We go away every quarter, and we go away every year. And I see and speak to my friends every single day, and I have deeper relationships than I've ever had before because I actually have the time to give to them. And I work on my health every day. I go to the gym every day. I go for a walk every day. I go in cold plunges and saunas most days. I'm hydrated. I eat the highest quality food. And all of that has come from my quote unquote hard work and hustle. So In summary, on this tangent, I hope you can hear how passionate I am about this. Yes, it does require hard work if you want an incredible life. It does require a bit of hustle, because how can you expect to play average, play small, stay comfortable, but get the results that are only required on the other side of growth, discomfort, and effort, right? So what I hope you take from this is that both options are hard. Staying where you are now, if now is not where you want to be right now, and creating the life that you want, both have consequences. Both are hard. You get to choose your hard, okay? So let's drop this narrative that hard work and hustle is a problem, because it doesn't need to be a problem. Because it's not a problem if you rewire your mindset. Like, yes, I've cried myself to sleep more times than I can count, especially in the first couple of years in business. I can't remember the last time I did that now, but I had to be willing to go through that messy, uncomfortable phase in the first 2 years of business. So yes, I've done that, but I have no doubt I'd be crying as well and be upset and miserable, and it would affect my life in other ways if I wasn't running a business and I was settling for a life that I didn't want just because that was quote unquote easier. That also comes with its set of consequences. So I hope this conversation has maybe changed your perspective on how you're viewing hard work and hustle. And I also want to put a bit of a disclaimer. I use the words ease and simplicity and abundance and effortless and, easy. I use those words in my messaging and marketing because things are effortless for me now. Things are easy for me now. But I need you to have that discernment of it's easy and it's effortless and it's simple and it's abundant and it works because I was willing to do the hard work to make it not hard. Just like learning to ride a bike in the beginning is really hard, but now it's easy. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can probably do it with one hand. My partner can even ride a bike with no hands. It's hard in the beginning until it's not. And I need you to know that the first 2 to 3 years in business is freaking hard, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It doesn't mean it can't also be amazing and great, right? I made multiple 6 figures in my first years in business. Yes, it's going to be really hard, but that doesn't mean you can't have all of these amazing things as well, okay? But you have to be willing to push through those 3 years, and it will be a lot more years than that if you play small, right? You got to go hard and put in effort. This is what I mean by the hustle and hard work. Otherwise, your 3 years might be 10 years, right? There are some people that have been in business 3 times as long as me, and they've made only a quarter of what I've made because they're not really putting in the extra time. So time just plays a role, but the hustle and the effort is what makes time shorten and you fast track your results. I hope you can see that, right? So the first years, yes, are hard and are going to have plenty of hard moments, but equally can have so many amazing moments. But if you're willing to put in that hustle and hard work, then it's going to eventually become easy and you're going to be great at it. There's no way I could, do an episode like this 3 or 5 years ago with no script and have so much conviction and boldness to say things that, are quite controversial, because there's so much messaging out there of hustle culture is dead. This is so bad for you. This is so toxic and masculine. But no, it's how you go about it. People can work hard from a really grounded and regulated and abundant place, and people can work harder rather than smarter from a really dysregulated and scarce place. That's not what I'm talking about when I talk about hustle and hard work and effort. I'm talking about working smarter, not harder, from that mentality, right? But you've got to put in the time, you've got to put in the effort if you want those extraordinary results. So this is your pep talk from Sofia Bernardi today. I hope that this kicked you in the butt if you needed it, because honestly, I share it all with so much love to share with you that you absolutely can create the life that you want, but you have to be willing to step into the version of you that is an energetic match for that result. So if you want a certain result or a certain lifestyle, then you've got to be a match for it. And it's not going to come from overthinking your every post. It's not going to come from playing small and not investing in yourself. It's not going to come from even joining a program and not leveraging the support. It's not going to come from watching course modules but not implementing the course modules. It's not going to come from giving up after 5 seconds of something not working. And it's not going to come with this mentality that it's meant to be easy and you're meant to get results within 5 seconds of trying, okay? It's going to come from effort, from consistency, and from skill set. And that's built through time and effort, okay? So Do I think hard work and hustle is bad? No, I don't. If you look at it from a healthy perspective, and I hope that this episode has helped you to see hustle and hard work from a healthy perspective. So if you ever see me use words like easeful, easy, abundant, all of the things, know that I mean that, but it's because of the hard work. Do I not put in hard work now? No, I put in hard work. I still put in the time and effort despite being over 5 years in business, but it's worth it. It's fun. It's not a problem. I've got the time, I've got the energy because of the business and the life I've created. So, and when I know what results and the outcome and the impact that comes on the other side of it, again, it's so worth leaning into. So rewrite the narrative, because your current narrative of, I don't want to work hard, it's meant to be easy, it's not meant to feel uncomfortable, it's why you're stuck. It's why you are where you are. So if this triggered or hurt you, I'm not going to apologize, because it's coming from such a pure place of love. And I know that if you apply it and you take ownership and responsibility of the role you've played in getting to where you are right now, you flip your perspective, and therefore your actions, your results will change as a result. And instead of me apologizing, you'll be thanking me. All right. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this mini pep talk, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took a moment to screenshot this episode, sharing what you think on your Instagram stories, tagging me at Sofia Bernardi so that I can reshare it. And if you do, I'll send you a special resource exclusive for my podcast listeners to help you grow and scale your business. I'll see you in the next episode.